Cindy, should we go
Yes.
to air?
Let's go to air. Are you ready, Robbie?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we should. So let's do a 3,
So glad you could join us today.
1.
Action. Welcome to SOWTI, the combination of our ministries. And we are so excited today because we have a special guest. Robbie Raugh is here with us. And Robbie is here to give us all kinds of advice, share her story, and give us advice on staying healthy during these times.
Robbie, what part of your health has to do with your faith? I've been reading your book, and you talk about 7 truths to relieve stress. And the first one has very much to do with God's word. And it reads, pray and read God's word, 4-6 it. And so I'm just wondering if you could just share with us what part of your health is woven with God's word.
All parts.
What does it mean to 4-6 it?
Philippians 4:6.
Okay, well, could you kind of share that with us?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for bringing up the book. The whole thing of the 7 truths to health and fitness was obviously a God thing. I had been helping people for many years as a nutritionist. Now it's been 40 years. And what I realized is that you can exercise and eat right and still be sick. And you can exercise and eat right and be not managing your stress and get sick. Or you can be exercising and eating right and not manage your sleep. And then your immune system is affected.
Yes.
You could be living in a toxic situation. You could have unforgiveness and anger and all of the stuff that manifests in our bodies, and it can affect your health. So really, when I think of what happened with me is, as I was interviewing my patients over the years to try and help them and peel off the layers of why are you sick? What is going on? What kept coming up was sometimes it was that they weren't exercising and eating right, but sometimes they were doing that and they were actually dealing with the 7 truths to health and fitness. So we need 7 truths, and it was not a coincidence that God placed the word 7 or the letter 7 on my heart, as you know.
Yes.
It means perfection and completion. But also, when I was praying about this book, it was these 7 truths that I came up with that are paramount to our health. So they are faith, number 1, because without God, nothing matters. And we cannot please God without faith, right? So faith, family, food, fitness, detox, sleep, and stress management. They're all vital to our health.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of 7 truths, you can't have one without the other. We really have to pay attention to those 7 truths to take care of this temporary earth suit.
So to all our listeners, Robbie is talking about her book, The Raw Truth, Recharge, 7 Truths to Health and Fitness. And you heard her just recite those off. And I want to come back one more time to the place that God's word, that 4-6 it, which is part of your faith element. How does that verse manifest itself in your life, and under what truth does it fall?
Yes. Well, God's word says, do not be anxious for anything. Do not worry.
Yeah.
And at this time in our life, we all need to cling to that truth. When I think of managing our stress, it's easy to say manage your stress, but really, if you start getting into God's word, as you know, ladies, because you love Jesus and you follow him and honor him, his words, those words of his Bible, which is, I call the basic instructions before leaving earth. And that is one of the things that we need to meditate on, because anxiety will come, worry will come, anxiousness will come, but God.
Yeah.
But God.
Exactly.
And did you notice that too, Robbie, that when people are sick and get sicker, that often it's around a stressful time or a time when things have not been going smoothly and there has been worry and anxiety and all of those things you said we're not supposed to have?
Absolutely. I mean, I know even for my sister, she was a principal. She worked full time. She had 2 babies, 4 boys. She had a tremendous amount of stress. Um, it definitely, I believe, affected her health. I mean, stress lowers our immune system. So
Yes.
most people will get a cold or a cold sore or something like that when they're stressed out. And it's because uh, our immune system is opened or lowered, which opens the door to disease.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we have to, I mean, I have in each of those chapters of the book, I give truths that we need to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to stress, pray about everything. Lay your burdens down. Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious. Do not worry. Also, talk to a friend when you're feeling down or when you're feeling worried or anxious. Accomplish something. Clean out your closet or clean out your drawer. You get a sense of accomplishment. Let the sun shine in, because we know
Yeah.
lack of vitamin D in our body, leads to depression. It's one of the symptoms of, vitamin D deficiency. So make sure you're eating, nutrient dense foods, but also make sure that you have that vitamin D in your body, and also cut yourself some slack. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't we? Yes.
We do, and it's crazy. So I've talked to patients like this past 7 weeks that we've all been, in our
Mm-hmm.
houses, and people are like, I just don't feel good about myself because I feel like I should have accomplished so much. I should have cleaned out the attic. I should have done that. But like, listen, if you are cooking meals and cleaning for your family, that's enough right now.
Good point. Good point. Yes.
These are great points. We need to
Mhm.
hear these right now. These are things that
Mhm.
we all
Yes.
need to hear right now because we're struggling.
Yeah.
I am not the only one, I'm sure, who's struggling through this.
Yes.
So
No.
thank you, Robbie. These are so good. I've read Robbie's book. I've had the blessing of knowing Robbie for a few years, as Ruth has as well. And I just have to say, I love the book. I love your testimony, Robbie. You took care of your sister. You took care of your mom as she was getting older. And your heart for seeing people healthy
Mhm.
and living that abundant life, as far as what God has for us, is just absolutely heartwarming.
It
And
is.
if
Yeah.
you can, I want to encourage you to pick up the Raw Truth Recharge. It's available at any online bookstore, Robbie?
Yes. And my website is robbieraughh.com.